Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Robert Aaron, 399617.
All right, Robert, you heard the introductions. We'll have a parole interview. We'll ask some questions. You can respond. At the end, you can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
And then we have folks that will speak at the appropriate time. We have Ms. Jeanette Alexander just here in support. Sharon Brown, Mr. Robert Lancaster, good to see you. We'll let you speak at the appropriate time. We do have Ms. Kendra Wanamaker, Shania Wanamaker. We have Jerry Garon, and we have Mr. Tracy Barbera. We'll have that are here and they'll speak at the appropriate time. Robert Aaron, DOC number 399617. You're a first class offender. Parole eligibility date 8/1/2021. Good time 9/16/2040. Full term 10/3/2047. 50-year sentence, second degree murder. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
How would you please answer, Ms. Pearl-Wise?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Aaron, call out for the record how long you've been in jail on this sentence.
26 years,
26 years of a 50-year sentence. And how old are you today?
48.
You're 48.
Yes, ma'am.
I see that you got 360 days of programming. Call out just the name of the top 3 programs that had an impact on you before we start talking about your crime.
Victim awareness.
3 of them.
Victim awareness, AANA
Okay,
and anger management.
good, good. Tell me what you got out of victim awareness.
Victim awareness, I learned that I not only harmed the victim, but as well as the secondary victim and the community. The ripple effect, I learned that the ripple effect not only affect the primary victim, but everybody that comes in contact with the victim. And
How do you think you've harmed your victim?
I harmed her in so many ways, physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. In so many ways I impacted them. And I'm so sorry and so regretful for it.
What was going on that day?
What was going on? I was drinking at the time. I was a severe alcoholic, and my life had become unmanageable. I was powerless over my addiction. And I had become angry because I lost everything. I lost my car. I lost my relationship. I couldn't afford to pay my bills. I lost my regular job. And I had become angry, but there is no excuse for my action. I take full accountability for my action.
Yes, sir. Yes, because you stabbed her 30 times, and
That's correct.
and it was an indication in the record that somebody had to hit you with a stick or something to get you to stop stabbing her.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Do you remember that?
I remember. Yes, ma'am. I do remember. Yes, ma'am.
And you are a first offender, so this was your first offense. What age did you start drinking?
Like 15 years old.
Anything else besides alcohol?
Weed, marijuana.
Anything else?
That's it.
How much education do you have?
I have my high set.
Okay. And good for you. When did you get your high set?
2020, DCI.
Put it there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's good. How long did it take you?
Ooh, forever look like.
Oh, good. Well, it takes as long as it takes. Good for you. Good for you. And I think as far as the needs, that was the only thing you had high in. That was education. Have you gotten a trade of any kind?
No, ma'am.
I see that you've been a Pride member since 2012. Is that correct? You've
Yes, ma'am.
continuously since 2012.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations on that as well. You're really
Thank you.
you've done well. So if you were successful today, how would you support yourself?
I got my supportive system. I got my sister with me, She
Okay,
gonna let me work for her. I also got a place to stay.
okay,
I've been working in the kitchen since 2011. So I've been working, I'm a cooler clerk. You know, I take care of all the food products and the food, the meats, the eggs, the milk. I inventory, do all the
Okay.
inventory on that. That's what I,
okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
you got that, got some warehouse experience, I think we can
yes,
call,
ma'am. Yes,
we can
ma'am.
call that, okay. And I saw in 2014, and I hope that, the victim don't get offended, but I just want to know, in 2014, you was in a talent show. What did you do?
I
What
sing.
talent do you have?
I'm the lead singer for the traveling band at DCI.
Okay, what, okay.
I wasn't actually a talent show. I was, you know, like supporting the people that sings like doing a little background at the time. They was actually doing the talent. I was just the band. I'm
I
part
thought
of
you
the band.
said you were a lead singer. Which one?
I'm the lead singer with the band at DCI. Final
Okay.
Mission. Yes, ma'am.
Then you said you're a lead singer with the band, but in the talent show, you didn't sing. That's what you said.
I sung background.
You saw
supporting-
background talent show. Okay, I was just curious. I wanted to know.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
another thing, going back to your chart, I hate to be flip-flopping. I'm sorry, I got notes all over my page here. You went to trial on this charge. Why?
Yes, ma'am.
Why? What was your thinking?
Probation. First
Okay.
offense.
Okay.
And I didn't know anything about the law. You know, now I was 22 years old, never
Yes.
been to jail. You know,
Mhm.
first offense, all those guys telling me, go to trial, you're gonna get probation, go to trial, you're gonna get probation.
Okay. Okay, oh, okay, but then at that time, you hadn't had victim awareness, so you weren't
No,
aware
ma'am, no,
how
ma'am,
that impacted
no,
victim.
ma'am, no, ma'am.
Really drug up everything, every detail of the crime.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand. And you were before the parole board in 12, 14, and 21, and you were denied. And you on April the 6th of 23, you was granted a rehearing that set you for today. The records show you do have a good institutional record. And like you said, you were 22 and you lost a total of what, 527 hours of good time when you first got in jail.
Yes,
Tell us
ma'am.
about that time.
When
Who
I first
were
got
you?
when I first got there, I went to Angola. That was in
Okay.
1999.
Mhm.
And I'm young. I'm hearing all these war stories. You know, they had some guys up there that will try you. You know what I'm saying? And you will have to, you know, if you have to, and I'm young, you will have to defend yourself.
And that's what that was all about. I noticed you don't have any of your good time restored. You never applied to have any of it restored.
No, ma'am.
Like I said, so your last DB was in 2017. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
you've definitely done well in these, you've done well in that area. And what did you learn? You said AA and NA was your second thing you learned the most. What did you get out of that? How you plan on staying clean and sober?
I realize I have a disease that has a no non-cure. However, it can be arrested, and I got it arrested. I know one thing: if I pick up a cigarette or anything, I know one is too many, 1,000 never enough. You know, because I know if I pick up a cigarette, there it go. There go the weed. It go hand in hand. There you go. Before you know it, there go the beer. You know, so I decided not to even must pick up any of those. You know. I've been clean about 24 of those years, because they do have stuff in prison. I didn't just quit clean turkey, you know. Yes, ma'am.
It was a process.
Yes, ma'am.
So what would be your sobriety plan? How many AA NA meetings will you attend if you're successful today?
At least 3 times per week, at least.
What about a sponsor?
Yes, ma'am. I will get a sponsor.
Okay. And now what did you learn in anger management?
Anger management, I learned to not only worry about my anger, controlling my anger, but other people's point of view as well. You know, I learned about the triggers, you know, to calm down, walk away, go exercise, you know, take deep breaths, you know, think before you act off emotions.
I like the way they're coming off the top of your head. I like that. That's good. That's really good.
You,
There's a fly.
you,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Fly
Oh,
buzzing around
I
there.
can see it.
you, sorry about
He's
that.
not gonna bite you. Son.
I know.
Sorry about that.
My last question to you, sir, is, I don't really know how to phrase it. Your victim continued, well, the last reports that I read, your victim is afraid of you. I'll speak to that.
Speak to that, I'm Miss Shanae, I'd like to apologize to Miss Shanae and her daughter for all the harm I have done. I wish I could some kind of way undo my wrongs. However, I can only work on and focus on becoming a better person. And I am so sorry and regretful for what I have done, all the pain I have caused.
I said that she's afraid of you, so speak to that.
She's afraid of me. Miss Shanae, I mean, I don't.
Speak to us, speak to us.
Speak to the board.
I would never, ever, I can't imagine hurting or doing anything to her or her family or anyone. Because when I was young, not saying this excuse, I was victimized. I mean, I was 6 years old when my mom shot my dad. You know, so I understand, I really do. Excuse me, because I may get, kind of emotional, but I understand, I get it. I really do. I mean, I really do. I mean, that's over with. I mean, I've done that. I can't take it back. But at the end of the day, I do regret it. I'm sorry. I really do apologize.
I only thing I was trying to hear you, I wanted to hear you say is that she has no reason to be afraid of you. That's really what I was expecting to hear you say. She has no reason whatsoever to be afraid of you because you're not going to do her any harm.
Right, I'm not.
Not trying to put words in your mouth, but that's what
I'm not. I will not. I will not.
and I'm sorry for your loss at age 6. Yeah, that's traumatic. That is trauma. It's quite some trauma. All right, thank you for answering my questions. Warren, what can you tell us about this young man?
Good morning, Ms. Wise. Robert's been here a while. He's got a good institutional record, as you spoke to. His last write-up was in 17. That was a low court write-up. He's a hard worker and he doesn't give any trouble. He is a pride member. So he's got a good institutional record.
Thank you, Warren. That's all I had, Jim.
All right, and for the record, I think I said second-degree murder, it's attempted second-degree murder. Just wanted to clarify that. Now you do have Ms. Jeanette Alexander and Mr. Sharon Brown. Would either one of them might like to make a statement?
Both, Mr. Kelsey.
Both? Okay, thank you.
Sharon first.
Who's over up first? Okay. You sit right here. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Okay. Good morning. My name is Sharon Brown. I am writing this letter to appeal to the parole board on behalf of my cousin, Robert Aaron III. Affectionately known to his family as Pookie. I'm sorry. Robert and I grew up in Baker. We enjoyed spending time with our family, siblings, cousins, and the neighborhood kids. Robert loves his family. He is compassionate, willing, and devoted to re-entering into society and becoming a productive citizen. He is loved by his family, all of whom have expressed their motivation and determination to support him as he adjusts to life as a free person. Upon release, Robert will live in a stable home with his sister. He have a job in janitorial service, and most importantly, lots of support and love from his family. With the support of his family, reentry initiative programs, Robert's willpower to live as a free person in society, and the changes and accomplishments he has made during incarceration, one of which was earning his GED and attending classes that he spoke on earlier, are tools he will use in the free world. Robert has expressed genuine remorse, and acknowledge what he did was wrong. I am asking that you see the person Robert has worked so hard to become today and not allow his past behavior as a young adult define the rest of his life. I will support Robert in any way needed and are required by this board to help him thrive in society. My support will include, but is not limited to, helping him navigate through his new norm, supporting him as he moved through the reentry process, providing him transportation, housing, financial support, emotional support, educational support, and helping him gain the skills and knowledge he needs to be a productive citizen in society. I am asking the board to release him and allow Robert the opportunity to prove himself by becoming a productive citizen, reunite with his family, and finally have a family of his own. In addition, he has young nieces and nephews that would love the opportunity to be a part of his life. Robert has a lot of love to share with his family, and we are asking to have the opportunity to share our love with him as a free man, build new memories, share holidays, and spend time together as a family. Please release Robert Aaron III, whereby he may be afforded the opportunity to prove himself and live a productive life. Re-entering in society is a difficult task, but as mentioned, we have the full support, he have the full support of myself and his family to navigate through this journey with him. Lastly, my commitment is to help my cousin Robert. He is not alone in this process. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak on behalf of my cousin.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from Ms. Alexander now.
Good morning.
Morning.
First of all, I want to thank you all for giving him another opportunity to come forward with you all today. I would like to highlight a few aspect of my brother character that made him be a reserve candidate for parole. My brother contemplating the positive attitude and general decisions to make amends for the mistakes that he have made. He has actively participated in the counsels and therapy sessions and addressed the roots of his crime. Most of all, I just ask that y'all give him this opportunity to come out and be a part of his family. And I work very hard as his sister to make sure that he completes and go to counseling, do whatever the board asks of him. He have a place to stay. He's with me. And furthermore, he will be working with me. J. Alexander Cleaning Service. I've been with J. Alexander Cleaning Service for over 17, 18 years. So I can provide him with that job. And else, he can also work anywhere else that he would like, because he's a very hard-working man. And I want to also apologize myself for his actions to Miss Shanae and Kendra, the baby, for what actually received back in those years. And furthermore, as mentoring him, I will be there for him. I'll make sure he gets to his AA meetings. I'll make sure he gets to whatever y'all decide on this day for him. But Robert, actually, he comes a long ways. He actually did everything. He don't show any bad activities or nothing along the way, as I have been coming to visit him faithfully to know that he's never been in any type of violent trouble or anything going forward for the years that he have been incarcerated.
All
So
right,
I'm asking the board to please just look into and giving him another opportunity to become a citizen in our great state of Louisiana.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, now we'll hear from Ms. Shanae. Like to make a statement, or Ms. Kendra first, either one, whichever one of y'all want to do.
Y'all can go
Y'all
together.
can go together, yes, ma'am. Y'all can go together and make your statements.
Since October 4th, that was probably one of the worst days of my life. I watched him. He kicked out the door. He took it over with me. He came back. He broke it down. I don't want y'all to be scared. Since then, I've been living with my grandparents. My mom has not been right in the apartment to me since then. And they talk about he's rehabilitated and he has sympathy. I don't see any of that. I'm sorry. I'm sleeping, but I still have nightmares. I still wake up around the same time each year. I fall into a depression. Like it's not a good feeling. And I still remember what I saw, and that's true. Like somebody had to hit him on the head with like a piece of wood in order for him to stop stabbing my mom. He wasn't gonna stop. I don't know why we have to keep doing this parole thing. If he has however many years, I think that's what he should do. I don't think he should get out any sooner. She suffered, he should suffer too. It's hard.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comments. So sorry. Shanae.
Thank you. Let me just say, just be passionate every so often. I still see counsel. I'm on medication. The medication is put me to sleep because first time, 2 years ago when they called and said they was on the parole, that sent me into, I don't know what, I just freaked out. And I knew where it was, but it just was even the thought. Again, 2 years, here you go again. I keep my children, I have younger children and they live with me. Somebody, I can't be left, I couldn't be left alone because I wouldn't sleep. And the only way I sleep is to take medication. If he is out, I don't see me being safe. I see me having to be somewhere. Because I'm wondering, is he outside? Is he gonna come through the window? That kind of thing. I don't bother nobody, and I'm not, I just cannot. That's not something I don't think I can help. But mentally, physically, no, I'm not able to go on with it. I am disabled now because of other things, but I just can't. Physically, I cannot handle it. Out. And I appreciate it. Just let him stay read. The time he was given. It's all I just can't.
All right. Thank you so much. So sorry.
Thank you for being
Thank you for being here. Yes, ma'am. All right, we'll hear from Ms. Barbera.
Good morning, Mr. Kelsey, Mr. Marabella, Ms. Wise. Tracy Barbera for the East Baton Rouge District Attorney's Office. Every time I review the facts of this case, I'm truly in awe that this was not a homicide. That being stabbed that many times, I can only imagine the trauma that she has gone through. And although I'm not in the boardroom, and I did not see, it didn't appear to me that Mr. Aaron was genuine at all. It is concerning to me that the only reason he took these classes is that he was told to through his last parole hearing. And even after going to those classes, I would like to focus on one thing he said. So many I could, but one thing in particular is he said, "It's over with." It is not over with. It will never be over with for these women. And if he had truly learned anything in those classes, he would know that, and he would acknowledge what she and her daughter have dealt with on a daily basis since she survived this incident. He is only 48 years old. I classify that as young, and I think he would still be a danger to other women, a danger to society. And I'll just reiterate, I don't see genuine remorse in this man at all, and we would ask that you please deny his parole. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Thank you for your coming. Mr. Aaron, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Once again, I'd like to thank y'all for giving me the opportunity for a rehearing. At the time of my crime, I was a severe alcoholic. And I was angry at the time. With my addiction and alcohol combined, spared my life out of control. It made me, alcohol and drugs is a mind-altering substance. Yes, I got hit where they, of course, they say I got hit across the head, of course, okay, all right. I take accountability for that, for my actions. They did hit me across the head. Was I in my right mind? No. Do I remember stabbing missionaries 30 amount times? No. But however, I did it. But I don't remember. Some things I remember, some things I don't. And I'm truly sorry, and I'm regretful for my actions. Like I said earlier, I witnessed pretty much the same thing Miss Kendra going through. I remember when I left the street, she was a little girl, and I treated her like she was mine. She used to call me dad. And I treated her, and I'm sorry for what happened. I'm truly sorry for what happened. I can't take back what didn't happen. I know I was wrong. I take full accountability for my actions. I really do. And I just want to thank y'all. And once again, I'm sorry for all the pain and the trauma and stuff that I called her and her daughter. I'm sorry. Thank y'all.
Right, thank you. All right, Mr. Lancaster, would you like to wrap it up?
Thank you, Mr. Kelsey. Mr. Aaron was before this committee back in 2021. And when I first met with him, I listened to that hearing prior to my meeting with him. And we did have a lot of discussion about the impact of the crime on Ms. Wanamaker and her daughter. Robert, after that hearing, I think that hearing in some respects, after that, he took victim awareness, and that really opened his eyes to the impact. Her statements at the hearing in 21 and then the course afterwards really opened Robert's eyes to the impact of the crime. And prior to that, I don't think Robert had sort of thought through the trauma that he suffered when he was 6 years old, and his father, who was abusing his mother, charged her and she picked up a gun and she unloaded a gun into him multiple times and killed him. And I talked to Robert about that. I talked to his sister Jeanette about that. And Robert never had any therapy. Basically after that, they just moved on. And he soon started drinking after that when he was 14, 15 years old. And again, that in part was, I think, medication for the fact that he had never really come to terms with the impact of actually being in the house and witnessing his mother shoot his father multiple times and his father die right in front of his eyes. And he started drinking, and he drank very, very heavily. At 22 years old, prior to that, he did have a job, he had a car. He lost pretty much everything, and everything in his life was completely out of control. And so, it was alcohol and anger that really resulted in his actions that day. And it is a horrific, horrific crime, one that Robert fully admits to because of his, state of mind at that time. I don't think has full memories of what happened on that day, but has taken full accountability for it. We have talked about the facts of that crime. He, recalls some, but at the end of the day, he does take full responsibility and appreciates the impact that he has. And I think a lot of that discussion, he's able to kind of really have a lot of regret about what he had done because of what he experienced as a child. And Robert has worked hard to address the two things that primarily brought him to prison, and that is the issue of alcohol. He has consistently attended Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous. There are multiple 3-month attendance certificates. He just got another one September the 10th, which wasn't included in the packet of information that I sent over because it came after that packet was submitted. He's taken substance abuse programming, all of it that's been available to him: living in balance, denial management, substance abuse education, recovery dynamics, relapse prevention, character counts. He's fully invested in his sobriety. He's also addressed his anger issues. He's taken anger management. We talked about occasions in which he experienced being in prison and has gotten angry and understood his triggers, understood his appropriate response, and dealt with it. So he knows what he's going to have to do to manage that issue and also to remain sober. He's built that into his reentry plan. His sister is going to support him, she and her husband, in Baton Rouge. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they go to church. Other things that have worked well for Robert in prison, he is putting into his reentry plan. Alcoholics Anonymous has been extremely important for him in prison. He's going to continue that on the outside, and he'll do it whether or not the committee puts that condition on him. I suspect that the committee will, if it's inclined to place that condition on him, and he'll meet that condition because he understands the importance of it. He is very active in a music ministry here at the prison, lead singer in the traveling band. That's been, I think, given him a sense of purpose, a sense of direction. His plan in reentry is to continue that. Beech Grove Baptist Church, where his sister attends, actually here in Jackson, not too far from the prison, is where he'll find a church home, and he'll get involved in musical ministry in that church. That's already his plan because he knows how important that is for him. The institution has recognized that Robert has really worked hard to do the things that he needs to do. He has a position of trust. He's maintained the same job, working in the kitchen, for 11 years. And this is a job that requires him to be present around 5 o'clock in the morning every day. And Robert shows up consistently and does the work. So work has also been very important for him in prison. It's kept him busy. His plan when he gets out is to work. His sister is able to provide him a job with her cleaning service. His sister works hard herself. She's got 3 jobs along with that cleaning service. One job is at Amazon at the distribution factory, and Amazon does have a program where they do hire formerly incarcerated. And Robert's ultimate hope is to get a job with Amazon once he gets out and on his feet and established. He's been institutionally compliant. He does have 21 write-ups, but 19 of those write-ups were in the first 14 years of his incarceration. His last write-up, which was mentioned today, is 2017, was a low court write-up. So his past, high court write-up, I think was, I have it in my brief, but it's quite some time ago. So he has been compliant. I did include in the packet that I submitted a letter that Robert wrote that I think really demonstrates, perhaps more articulately than he in the hearing today, his understanding of the impact that he had on Miss Wanamaker and her daughter. He does think about it. I think if Robert was, with his band today and singing, the committee would see a very different Robert than he presented today at the hearing, where he is nervous. He's very thoughtful, and I've met with him many times, and I think he probably is much more animated when he sings than when he's responding to questions today. Throughout all of my conversations with him in preparation for this hearing, he has expressed deep remorse, a deep understanding of what he did. And I think he's sort of shocked by what he did. As a first offense, this was a horrific first offense, but not indicative of his character. Now that he's sober, now that he's had programming to really understand what issues existed in his life that led him to prison, and dealing with those, that really demonstrates his true character, the recognition that the institution gives him with positions of trust. He just got moved to the honor dorm, actually quite some time ago, but fairly recently he moved to the L dorm, which is the honor dorm here. He's been a Pride member for a long time. All of that, the people who've been around him that recognize that, I think recognize his true character. For those reasons, we request that he be granted parole today under whatever conditions this committee deems appropriate, and conditions of no contact at all, no social media, whatever the committee feels important for his success upon release. Robert's completely willing to accept those conditions and abide by them. So thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. All right, is that all fair to vote?
Yes.
Ms. Pearl.
Mr. Aaron, I do want to commend you on your good institutional record and all the great things that you're doing.
Thank you.
I noticed that, like you said, you came in at 22 and today you're 48.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've come a long ways. And again, my apologies, I extend my sorrows to you for what you experienced as a child. That you should have seen that. I know you should have seen that. And to our guests here today, I just commend you all for the courage that it takes to show up, because we have laws here, so people have rights, and so this is part of the process. But for me today, Mr. Aaron, I'm just not comfortable releasing you. My vote is to deny because of the severity of the crime, the continuing impact on the family. The DA's office, our position that was so clearly expressed today. And I think you could benefit from long-term substance abuse treatment as well as a mental health evaluation. That is my vote. I'm only one vote.
Mr. Marbella.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Aaron, you've done a lot of very good things while you've been in prison. And I think that you are on the road to rehabilitation. you know, we have victims here that were very courageous in coming to talk and explain what happened to them. Most crimes that we see are horrendous. This is a case, as Ms. Barbera pointed out, that very likely would have been homicide in any other circumstance, someone getting stabbed 30 times. But she lived and she's here and she's fearful. She's fearful for her life and her daughter is fearful for her life. Ms. Pearl threw a softball to you. She's afraid of you. You know, tell me something. And you didn't. You didn't say, my goodness, she's got nothing to worry about from me. I'm not going to do anything like that again. But you didn't say that. And I don't know if it's because you don't feel it. You know, it may be because you just don't know what to say, and perhaps that's the case. But I'm also concerned about the impact that your crime had on these victims. And they are very, very afraid. And I think you need a little more understanding of what effect your crime had on them. Not just emotionally to them, but what effect you had on them in their fear of you. And I don't think you understand that yet. So I think you need a little more. You're close. Likely next time you come before this board, you'll get out. But for me, just not today. Good luck to you.
Right, you have 2 votes to deny your parole. For the same reasons as stated, again, I want to thank the victim for coming out today. I know it's been a difficult situation. You are close. You're just not, you know, sometimes it just takes time. So my vote is to deny your parole as well. 3 votes to deny today. Your parole's been denied. Good luck to you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.